Welcome back, everyone. Well, our 60-degree plus days are just about over, and we are going to 40-degree days coming up here within the next 3 days or so. So, I got a question the other day, and I'm going to show everybody how I'm going to do this. But I got a question about what do I do to protect my rose bushes during the winter, and to get them through the winter. Now, I'll tell everybody what I do, but this works for me. I mean, I'm just giving my opinion on how I do things. You can take the good, the bad from it, however you want. But let me explain a little bit about the rose bushes and what we have to, what takes place here. So, in the fall, when you cut back your rose bush, what you're looking to do is you're looking to protect the crown of the rose bush from like a real hard freeze. And sometimes, like, if you don't like cover them right, or something happens, it can cause them to freeze, crack and freeze and kill the rose bush. And a lot of that is caused by these kind of things like this. Now, I use these things, but I don't use them in the sense of like what they are. And let me explain why. If you've ever noticed, like, when somebody has these and they have them over their rose cone, they always like cut out like the bigger holes here in the side all the way around, to vent it. That's all fine and everything, but the only problem with these things is that it creates a false greenhouse sense. And what I mean by that is like, have you ever seen like somebody who was using these, and like I say, they cut the holes in the top, and you see like the rose bush is growing through them? That's because what's happening is that when you put this over your rose bush, okay, and let's just use this other one here as an example. Let's say this is the dirt, if you can see what I'm talking about. Well, when you cut your rose bush down, you put this over it like this, and what happens is that the crown of the rose bush is way down here. You have all of this space in between here, all of this open space. What happens is that, like, especially if you got your rose bushes facing like a southern exposure, what happens is the sun beats down on this all day, and it heats the air up inside here. I mean, granted, yes, you do have the vents, but this warms up. It warms up the air inside of here. So the rose bush doesn't really go dormant. The rose bush doesn't like, die off, go to that dormant stage. So what it's doing is that when it's in here, this heats up during the day. The rose bush is thinking, hey, it's still the middle of summer. It's like 70 degrees out. I have to grow. The only problem is that once the nightfall happens, you have the longer nights. And what happens is that crown that's in here is still active. It's still alive. It's still thinking that it's the middle of summer. So what happens is in the middle overnight, the cold air, from the cold winter, wraps around here. The air inside here starts to freeze, or it starts to, chill down. That's why, like, sometimes when you're using these things, that's what ends up killing your rose bush, is because your rose bush didn't go dormant. And, well, like I say, when it doesn't go dormant and it still thinks it's growing, it'll grow all winter long as the inside temperature in here stays hot. The minute this gets really cold, or you get like some cold, cloudy days where the sun doesn't warm up the air in here or something, that crown is going to actually have like condensation on it because of the warmth inside of here. It's going to cause condensation. And when that crown gets wet, the air in here turns cold. It's going to freeze the crown, and it's going to kill your rose bush. So, like I said, I'm not saying you can't really use these things, but this is what I do with them to make them better off. What I do is I just take my knife here, And I figure I have my rose bushes already cut, and like I said, I'll show everybody once I put them on and fill them and everything. So my rose bushes are probably about this high, give or take, you know, because like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I am going to just cut right through the top here. Now again, this doesn't have to be perfectly cut circle. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to like break out a ruler and measure all the way around. All you want to do is just go around and cut off the top. So then you can see right through here, you can see me, you see the opening like this. What this is going to allow for it to happen is when I put this over my rose bush, I get my whole rose bush in here and covered. Get this down on the ground. Now let me show you, like I say, how it would look. So I get this over the rose bush, get it on the ground, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rake this and fill it with a bunch of leaves. That way then, what happens is that the rose bush is protected from like the real hard frost or the real hard chill, but it also protects the rose bush crown over the winter from being like affected by the drastic temperature change of, like, you know, going from real hot to real cold inside of these things. So let me get this other one cut. I'm gonna get them on my rose bushes, get some leaves raked up, and then I'll show you, like I say, the process of when I put it over the rose bush, fill them, and how we're gonna put how we're gonna put our rose bushes to bed for the winter. So let me just pause this real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so now you can see what I'm talking about. We have our one rose bush right here that I'm gonna cover and all that, but we have our second one right here. And as you can see, some of the branches are out, but I'm not too worried about that. The only thing I'm really worried about is protecting the crown. So what we did was we had it all trimmed back short. We put the rose cone around it, and then we ended up filling the inside. We packed in here, as you can see, we packed in here our leaves. And you don't want to like pack it, you know, real tight, but what you want to do is just kind of pack it in here loosely, and that'll protect the crown from like the real cold winds or heating up too much. And then, like I say, in springtime, when spring rolls around, all you have to do is pull that off, blow this all out really good, and you know, it'll start to come back, it'll start to grow. So like I say, we still have this one to cover. And then if you remember, we moved our buckets, and we still have back here, we have our raspberry, our strawberry, and our grape. And for the most half, they've been doing pretty good over here. I have those bags, and I'm gonna wrap these up here to this week, probably either later on today or tomorrow. But I got to get a cage yet for this one. This one I'll just wrap, and this one too. I got to get like some kind of a cage for it so it can climb up here, or maybe like try to train it to go towards the fence, you know, put like a trellis behind there maybe and let them run up the fence. But that's all for this week's video. Like I say, just thought I'd share some info with everybody and my opinions on stuff. And again, like I say, it's just my opinion. You know, you don't have to use it. You don't have to, you know, do what I say or whatever. But for me, that's what I found works, you know, pretty well to protecting my rose bushes and keeping them safe for the winter. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And until next video, everyone, take care and stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.